Your sun, moon, and ascendant. And if you have lots of Aquarius aspects, this is for you for the month of September. Here we go. Ha! Oh my god. Look what card I got. I would say this is kind of true. This is the Two of Swords, and I see this card as sitting with yourself, sitting in the silence of self, and thinking about what direction you want to take yourself. Maybe you're not really happy with where you're at. Something you got to tweak about where you're living, what you're living at, how you're living, where you're working, who you're hanging out with, all of it. So you're going to be tweaking that. You're going to be sitting there thinking it through. So I think the month of September is really a month of thinking it through, going inside, seeing what self needs, responding to self's needs, and seriously finding what really turns you on. Okay? What you really need to make you feel as if you're living life in your best way. So I think September is going to be a good time for you to sit with yourself and make sure you know this, beyond anything else. There may be lots of directions, but none of them are clear yet. None of them will be clear, not even in September. It's a good time to sit with yourself.
I got the Wheel of Fortune upright.
Good.
And of course, being an Aquarian, I can't do anything but bring this into my life a little bit. And I'd like to talk about luck and making sure that you really look at luck correctly. I got hit by a truck like yesterday, and that's not a joke. I was on a motorcycle, and I lived. I walked away. I drove away. And it wasn't a little thing. I'm hurting a little bit today. I'm a little bit bruised, but I'm looking at my luck, and you know what? It's intact. It's intact, just like my body is. And I'd like to mention that, especially if you're sitting with yourself at this time in a place of, well, picking a direction, and especially if it's anything like the position that I'm in, that you really look at your options in a way where you kind of have weighed and created space and kind of put everything in its own right, so you can really experience those things in a way that's healthy and correct. The Wheel of Fortune is talking about all the right things being available and luck being on your side, and that turn of the wheel is in your favor. But it's very important to make sure that you don't test your luck. And especially for myself, I'm hearing that loudly. And I'm going to put that to work. And I really suggest that you fellow Aquarians out there, you gotta make sure you pick your path carefully, and that you pay attention to that path ahead. Because sometimes a truck pulls out, man. It's not great.
I think that I'm really grateful you're here, son. I don't know how I can live life without you. So, yeah, we really had a close call the other day with that, eh?
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to point out about the Wheel of Fortune is the 4 people reading books. Okay? So to me, it's also saying, take the time to research. Take the time to research what you think might be a better thing for you to add in your life. Take the time to read, to learn, to listen to other wise ones, to glean all the messages that have come your way as you're doing, and take the best pieces of it all out and sort of lay it out, you know. There's probably a story there.
I will say one more thing, especially because this guy hanging out behind me, I'm sure there's all kinds of archetypes that it could be, but I believe a lot of the time that journey of that fool that I feel I am in some ways, it's made to break us, to build us back up. You cannot create without destruction, and I'd like to mention that if you try too hard to run to one side of that spectrum, that it will eventually catch up with you, and that you need to pay homage to the process.
Right?
Good luck, Aquarian.
Right?
Wish me luck too.
Always, baby. Okay.